The truth about ignoring women in relationships. Avoid this big mistake. Have you ever encountered a woman who creates a lot of drama? Honestly, who hasn't? Let's explore this scenario. What do you do when a woman starts arguing with you without any apparent reason? How do you handle someone who's struggled with emotional issues from past relationships? These are just a few of the topics Darius covers in his video titled The Psychology of Ignoring a Woman. If you've already watched Darius's video, I strongly encourage you to watch mine as well, because you might be making a critical mistake that could cost you a woman who's truly meant for you. To uncover the truth, stick with me until the end. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm Anna Jorgensen, and today is just a Tip Tuesday. First, I want to give Darius kudos for starting with a powerful metaphor, a lion and a lioness. The lion is lounging like a villain, while the lioness becomes increasingly agitated because she's being ignored. That's a brilliant analogy. Darius argues that many conflicts between men and women arise when women create their own problems, and men, acting as rescuers, try to fix them. I completely agree. He continues by saying that even good women may act out in relationships, and if you react emotionally, you're giving them control. This point is crucial. Even emotionally healthy, high-value women can have bad days and act out in ways that aren't entirely healthy. But that doesn't mean their entire character is flawed. Darius stresses the importance of maintaining emotional control and ignoring negative behavior. If you submit to her, you're teaching her that her actions work. Think of it like a child. If you give in, she learns she can get away with it. A quote I really appreciate is, "Stop getting emotional. Let her actions not dictate how you feel, think, or move." He suggests letting her solve her own problems, or at least some of them, and creating her own happiness. In the end, she'll be happier when she can learn to take responsibility. Now, you might think I'm agreeing with everything Darius said, but there's a key adjustment I want to emphasize. He mentions it in his video, but I believe it's so important, especially for men who go too far and lose a great partner. Stay with me. Darius also notes that women sometimes test how much they matter to you and how you react. I call this the shite test, a term many use to describe situations where a woman reacts angrily, even when her behavior seems unreasonable or overly dramatic. If you've ever been in a situation like that, you recognize it. The lesson here is clear: stay composed, set boundaries, and avoid giving her the power to control your emotions. Remember, the goal isn't to ignore her completely, but to guide her towards self-reliance without losing your own sense of worth. I encourage you to check out my video discussing how to navigate her test, because ignoring her isn't the only approach I share there. Darius makes a great point: stop trying to act like Dr. Phil or a therapist for women. One of my viewers summed it up perfectly: don't waste energy trying to decode women, just focus on loving them. I couldn't agree more, but I'd add a twist: love yourself even more. To expand on Darius's advice about avoiding the therapist role, here's a key idea: if you let yourself become her emotional crutch, she might lean on you excessively, eventually eroding her respect for you. And without respect, there's no genuine connection or spark. Now, Darius also argues that ignoring a woman when she pulls you into her drama can actually be kind. Why? Because it gives her space to self-reflect, take responsibility for her actions, and grow. My takeaway: if you genuinely want to help a woman build accountability, whether she's your partner or someone else, it's worth learning strategies to guide her. If you're up for the challenge, my video on why women struggle with accountability and how to help dives deeper. Another key point: don't let yourself be dragged into fixing the emotional baggage she carries from past relationships, especially with other men. If her issues don't directly affect you, stepping back might actually make her more intrigued. But wait, there's nuance here. If she's a high-value woman who stands by you during your tough times, even when it doesn't impact her, she deserves the same loyalty. Healthy relationships are partnerships. Mutual support is the name of the game. Let's say she's facing a challenge you can genuinely help with, like navigating a career setback or personal struggle. In that case, stepping up shows you're a team player, just as you'd want her to support you. Darius might be referring to women who have potential but haven't fully embraced their value yet. The danger? Ignoring a truly high-value woman when she needs support could cost you a great relationship. I'm not talking about financial support here, this is about emotional presence. My added perspective: treat high-value women differently from those who consistently show low-value traits. Ignoring someone who's emotionally draining? Wise move. Ignoring a keeper during a rough patch? Not so much. And while Darius claims he's attracted many women globally by playing hard to get, that tactic works best for fleeting flings. If you're seeking a lasting bond, playing coy with a high-value woman might backfire. He also notes that women who rush into intimacy often do so to prove their worth by chasing approval. Here's a critical observation: there's often a link between high-value women and those who set boundaries about physical intimacy. They tend to take time to open up. That said, exceptions exist, so avoid one-size-fits-all assumptions. The core takeaway: stay confident, avoid desperation, and focus on mutual respect, whether you're dating casually or building something meaningful. When it comes to relationships, a high-value woman often takes her time to assess whether a man is truly deserving of her affection. Just as you seek a partner who meets your standards, she will evaluate your personality, character traits, aspirations, beliefs, and values to determine if you could be a suitable long-term partner. If she possesses enough self-respect to wait and see if you align with her expectations, it indicates that she is genuinely looking for a meaningful, lasting relationship rather than a fleeting encounter. This willingness to take her time suggests that she is confident and not overly concerned about losing you, which is a hallmark of a high-value woman. On the other hand, if you are not in search of a serious commitment, there is some good news. Due to the influence of modern feminism, many women are more open to casual relationships. In fact, some younger women even celebrate having multiple partners, viewing it as a badge of honor. However, it's essential to understand the dynamics at play. For some of these young women, you might simply be another name on their list of experiences. It's important to recognize that seeking a casual encounter is quite different from finding a meaningful girlfriend. Here's a tough truth that might be hard to swallow: if a woman is not ready to settle down and is still exploring her options, she may not be the best choice for a long-term relationship. Darius, a relationship expert, points out that men who position themselves as a woman's emotional support, often referred to as emotional tampons, tend to struggle in romantic pursuits. I completely agree with this perspective. If you find yourself in the role of her emotional confidant before establishing a romantic connection, you risk being relegated to the friend zone. If you've been labeled as too nice or a people pleaser, and you often feel unappreciated for your kindness, it might be beneficial to watch my video on why nice guys finish last and identify signs that you may be overly accommodating. Darius also suggests that giving her some space can prompt her to reflect on her actions and potentially apologize if she has wronged you. If she genuinely recognizes her mistake and you have not contributed to the issue, she may return to make amends. However, if she fails to do so, it could be a warning sign that she is not the right person for you. It's crucial to assess the situation objectively, even though it can be challenging when emotions are involved. You need to determine whether her actions were truly inappropriate or if your own behavior was not as problematic as you might think. If you find yourself in a tumultuous relationship and are uncertain about whether she is worth keeping or if she is simply causing chaos in your life, I recommend watching my video on when to walk away. Darius emphasizes that for the strategy of ignoring her to be effective, there must be some level of attraction from her side, otherwise, it simply won't yield results. If she has started to distance herself or has already ended things, it's important to understand the difference between chasing after her and pursuing her in a healthy way. If you genuinely want to rekindle the relationship, knowing how to navigate this delicate balance is key. Whether she's a low-value or high-value target, your goal is to pursue her without relying solely on chasing. If you're unsure how to approach this, I recommend watching my video on chasing versus pursuing for practical insights. It's crucial to avoid reacting impulsively. Reaction often stems from emotional triggers, but respond with clarity and intentionality. Your response may involve ignoring her, but that's not the same as emotional knee-jerk reactions. A thoughtful response shows consideration, not just avoidance. It takes a strong mindset to stay calm when a woman is emotionally charged, but if you can manage your emotions, it can be highly attractive. High-value women often have many options, so ignoring them risks losing them entirely. For example, if a high-value woman is triggered, she might not return your calls, and others might seize the opportunity to win her over. The key is to prioritize genuine engagement over superficial interactions. Darius emphasizes that if you feel she's manipulating you, leave your messages on read, let her see you've noticed but don't reply. Focus instead on those who are actively interested in you. This approach avoids forcing her into compliance and leaves the decision up to her. He advises that ignoring uncooperative women is okay, but dismissing those who ignore you or undermine you is not. I agree with this philosophy. His core message is clear: avoid ignoring high-value women for the sake of it, as they're unlikely to stay long-term. If you ignore them, you risk losing them, which is frustrating. Today's high-value women are rare and hard to find, so it's essential to avoid appearing needy or insecure. While it's challenging, being authentic is necessary. Being bitter or insecure won't help you attract a quality partner, it'll only deepen your frustration. Remember, patience and consistency are key when building trust and connection. If you've reached a point where you feel like giving up on the dating scene, you might want to take a pause and consider watching my video titled 5 Reasons to Stay Single and 5 Benefits of Staying Single. Many people approach dating with misguided strategies, which often leads to loneliness or unhealthy relationships. The goal is to attract someone who is genuinely good for you. By making a few simple adjustments to your dating approach, you can avoid using manipulative tactics like ignoring someone, and instead, focus on building meaningful connections with people you truly care about. Before diving back into the dating world, it's crucial to ensure you're in the right mindset. If you're not ready, the experience can be more challenging than enjoyable, which is what you're ultimately aiming for. Whether you decide to put in the effort to understand women better so you can find a girlfriend or a long-term partner, or if you choose to stay single for now or forever, I fully support your decision. The most important thing is to do what genuinely makes you happy, not just what seems convenient or expected. For example, taking the time to understand your own needs and preferences can make a significant difference in your dating experiences. It's like learning a new skill. It takes practice and patience. If you decide to stay single, it can be a great opportunity to focus on personal growth, hobbies, and building strong friendships. On the other hand, if you're ready to dive into a relationship, taking the time to learn about what you want in a partner can lead to more fulfilling connections. Whatever path you choose, remember that your happiness is the priority. God bless.